You've spent your whole life thinking that you are a victim of facts. You look at your bank account and you say, that's a fact. You look at your medical chart and you say, that's a fact. You look at the way people treat you, the way your boss talks to you, the way your kids ignore you, and you call it a hard truth. But I'm here to tell you that there is no such thing as a hard fact in your reality that didn't start as a conviction. You see, we've been taught that we are like cameras. We think we just point our eyes at the world and record what's actually there. We think the world is the primary source, and we are just the passive observers. But that's not how the interface works. You aren't a camera, you are a filter. You are a sophisticated piece of biological software that is literally programmed to only see, hear, and feel what you already believe is possible. I want you to think about the invisible script you've been running since you woke up this morning. Before you even swung your feet out of bed, you had already signed off on 1,000 different basic assumptions about how your day was going to go. You assumed that when you put your weight on the floor, the wood wouldn't turn into water and let you sink. You assumed that the air in the room was going to contain enough oxygen for your lungs. You assumed that the person you saw in the mirror was the same you that went to sleep last night. Those are your base convictions. And because they are so obvious, you don't even notice them. They are like the air you breathe. You only notice the air when it's gone or when it turns toxic. But here's where the grit comes in. While you're busy assuming gravity is going to work, you've also signed off on some scripts that are absolutely killing your render. You've got convictions about your worth, your intelligence, your health, and your place in the grid that are acting like lead weights on your potential. You say things like, I'm just not a lucky person, or in my family we always struggle with our weight, or the economy is rigged against people like me. You think you're just observing reality. You think you're being a realist, but what you're actually doing is writing the law. In the 95% universe, there is no difference between a belief and a physical fact. A belief is just a physical fact that hasn't finished rendering yet. If you hold a conviction long enough, the sandbox has no choice but to build a world that proves you right. The universe is a perfect yes man. It doesn't argue with you. It doesn't have an opinion on whether your beliefs are good or bad. It just executes the code. If you want to believe that life is a grind, the universe will provide you with the most convincing, soul-crushing grind you've ever seen, just to make sure your internal code stays consistent with the external render. You aren't fighting the world, friend. You're fighting your own authorized suggestions. Let's drop an iron anchor on this. I want to give your small story, ego, something it can't explain away with logic. Back in the late 1960s, a group of Japanese researchers conducted a study that should have rewritten every medical textbook on the planet. They took a group of students who were extremely allergic to a specific type of toxic leaf. Think of it like a hyper-potent version of poison ivy. These kids would break out in weeping blisters if they even got near the stuff. They blindfolded these students. They told them they were going to rub their left arm with the toxic leaf and their right arm with a harmless neutral leaf. But they flipped the script. On the left arm, the one the students believed was being poisoned, they actually rubbed a completely harmless, non-toxic leaf. It was a lie. On the right arm, the one they believed was safe, they rubbed the actual toxic, skin-blistering poison. Now, look at the result. In almost every single case, the left arm, the safe arm that the students believed was poisoned, broke out in massive, painful, physical blisters. Their biology literally manufactured a physical reaction, a real-world fact of inflammation and pain to a threat that didn't exist in the physical world. It only existed in their conviction. And the right arm, the one that was actually covered in poison, it stayed perfectly clear. Their body refused to render the poison because the internal code said it was safe. This isn't magic. This is biological authorization. Their cells didn't take orders from the chemicals on their skin. They took orders from the conviction in the mind. The primary operator issued a command based on the belief of threat, and the 50 trillion cells of the body executed that command, even though it was based on a lie. You see what I'm saying? Your body is a suggestion machine. Every day, you are rubbing toxic leaves of thought onto your own life. You are telling your system that you are tired, or old, or broke, or sick. You think you're just stating a fact, but you're actually issuing a chemical memo. Your biology is a loyal employee. It doesn't question the boss. If you authorize the belief that you are declining, your DNA will start to down-regulate to match the render. If you authorize the belief that you are an authorized creator, your very atoms will start to vibrate at a higher frequency. We spend billions of dollars on healthcare and wellness, trying to fix the blisters on our arms, while we're still holding the toxic leaf of our own convictions in our hands. We're trying to treat the symptom while we're still authorizing the cause. You have to stop asking the 5% world for permission to be okay. You have to realize that your convictions are the foundation piles of your reality. If the foundation is crooked, the whole house is going to lean, no matter how much positive thinking wallpaper you put on the walls. If you think this only applies to your own body, you're missing the scale of the architecture. Let's look at a collective conviction. For decades, from the dawn of organized sports until 1954, it was a hard fact that the human body could not run a mile in under 4 minutes. It wasn't just a goal, it was a physical law. Doctors wrote papers on it. They said the human heart would literally explode, the lungs would collapse, and the skeletal structure would shatter under the stress. Every runner on the planet knew this. And because they knew it, their neural toll bridge wouldn't let them go faster. They would hit that 401 mark, and their body would shut down. It was a global filter. Then came Roger Bannister. Bannister wasn't just a runner, he was a medical student. He understood that the limit wasn't in the muscles, it was in the command chain. He spent his time visualizing himself breaking through that invisible wall. He reauthorized his own internal code. On May 6, 1954, he ran the mile in 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds. Now, here is the part that proves the 95% universe is listening. Once Bannister broke the hard fact, the conviction of the entire world shifted. Within 46 days, another runner broke the record. Within a year, 3 more did. Within a few decades, over 1,000 people had done it, including high school students. Did human biology change in 1954? Did our hearts suddenly get stronger overnight? No. The collective code changed. The authorized suggestion that it was impossible was deleted, and the physical render of the human body followed the new instruction. What 4-minute miles are you currently refusing to run because a doctor or a teacher or a news anchor told you it was impossible? You are staring at a wall that isn't made of brick, it's made of agreement. You've agreed to the limits of the grid, and your 50 trillion cells are just following the contract. It's time to tear up the contract. Now, I want you to imagine your mind as a high-security border crossing. You've got thousands of thoughts, impulses, and ideas trying to cross over from that 95% non-physical space into your 5% physical reality every single second. Most people think their thoughts just happen and then vanish. They don't. Every thought is a potential event. Every thought is a seed trying to find dirt. But there's a guard at the gate. There is a neural toll bridge that every single thought has to cross before it's allowed to render in your physical life. And who is the guard? Your convictions. Your beliefs act as a filtering protocol. When a thought comes up that says, I could start a business and be a massive success, it hits the toll bridge. The guard looks at your internal code of conviction. If that code says, people like me don't make money, or I'm not smart enough, the guard denies entry. The thought is turned away. It never gets the authorization to become a physical event in your life. But if a thought comes up that says, everything is going wrong, I'm probably going to fail, and your internal code says, yep, life is a struggle and I'm a victim, the guard waves it through. It gets the express pass. It's given the green light to go out and manifest as a real-world crisis. You see what's happening? You aren't choosing your life in real time. You are pre-approving your life based on the authorized list. you gave the guard years ago. And look, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I don't remember hiring that guard. I don't remember writing that code. And you're right, you didn't. Most of that code was written for you before you were 10 years old. You inherited it from your parents, your teachers, and the social static of the grid. You're running a 2026 life on a 1980s victim OS. But here is the grit of the situation. The guard only has power because you gave it to him. You are the primary operator. You are the one who signed the sovereign decree that created the toll bridge in the first place. If you want a different life, you don't fight the events. You don't try to stop the thoughts. You rewrite the code of the guard. You have to realize that your convictions are like stained glass windows. If the glass is red, the whole world looks red. You can't tell a person looking through red glass that the grass is green. To them, it's a fact that the grass is brown or black. Their interface is filtering out the green. If you believe that life is a struggle, you literally cannot see the opportunities that are standing right in front of your face. Your neural toll bridge is turning them away before they even hit your conscious mind. You aren't unlucky. You are blind by choice. So, let's have a look at your inherited ledger. I want you to think about the them. You know who I'm talking about. The people who told you how the world works. Your father telling you that money doesn't grow on trees. Your mother telling you to be careful because the world is a scary place. Your teachers telling you that you were average or distracted. Those aren't just memories. Those are active convictions that are still running in your system right now. You are essentially a sovereign architect who is still building your house based on a blueprint your neighbor's cousin drew 40 years ago. How's that working out for you? I want you to identify one hard fact in your life right now that you hate. Maybe it's your bank balance. Maybe it's the way you feel about your body. Maybe it's a recurring argument you have with your spouse. Now, find the conviction that's holding it in place. If you're broke, do you believe that money is the root of all evil? Do you believe that you have to work yourself to death to be successful? If you're sick, do you believe that aging is a process of decline? Do you believe that your genetics are a prison sentence? You have to be brutal with yourself here. This is the grit part of the wisdom. You can't change the render if you're still protecting the lie. You have to stop being polite to your own limitations. Most of what you call your personality is just a collection of these inherited convictions. You aren't shy. You just have a conviction that being seen is dangerous. You aren't lazy. You just have a conviction that your effort won't make a difference. You are an eternal, multidimensional operator who has allowed the staff to run the company. You've let the common consensus of the 5% world write the authorized list for your life. The mirror interrogation is about asking one simple question. Who authorized this belief? If it wasn't you, the sovereign, 95% version of you, then it has no right to be on the ledger. It is a squatter in your consciousness, and it's time to serve the eviction notice. Let's go a layer deeper. People often ask, if my thoughts create my reality, why didn't that Ferrari show up in my driveway the second I thought about it? It's because of the manifestation lag, and thank God for it. If your reality rendered instantly, you'd be dead in a week. Think about every random, dark, or fleeting thought you've had while you were stuck in traffic or angry at a neighbor. If those rendered instantly, the world would be a chaotic nightmare. The physical world is designed with a buffer. It's a staging ground. The lag exists so you can test your convictions. It gives you time to see if you actually mean what you're thinking. But most of us use that lag as an excuse to give up. We authorize a new conviction for 3 days. And when the bank account hasn't changed yet, we say, see, I knew it wouldn't work. And the universe says, okay, your conviction is that it doesn't work. Rendering that now. You have to learn to read the subtitles of reality. Everything happening around you right now, every coincidence, every small win, every minor setback, is a subtitle telling you which convictions are currently at the toll bridge. If you see a lot of people struggling around you, That's a subtitle telling you that you still have a conviction that the world is a struggle. You don't change the subtitle by screaming at the screen. You change it by updating the script. We've been taught that we have to manifest things, like we're trying to conjure something out of thin air. But you don't manifest a reality. You authorize it. You aren't the one building the car. You're the one who signed the order form and handed it to the factory. The factory, the 95%, is infinitely efficient. It never runs out of parts. It never goes on strike. It just waits for a clean, authorized signature. But if your signature is shaky, if one day you say yes, and the next day you say maybe, the factory just sits there, waiting for a definitive command. Your job isn't to do the factory's work. Your job is to be the definitive signatory. You have to be so certain of your new conviction that you stop looking for proof in the 5% world. Looking for proof is a sign that you don't actually believe it yet. If you believe the sun is going to rise, you don't sit by the window all night with a flashlight, checking your watch. You go to sleep. That is the rest of the sovereign. You authorize the code, and then you allow the render to happen in its own time. Here is your directive for this coordinate point in time. You are going to execute a sovereign red line. From this moment on, you stop being a victim of your biology, your genetics, or your circumstances. You realize that those are just the blisters on the arm of someone who is still carrying the toxic leaf of a lie. I want you to look at every hard fact in your life and see it for what it actually is, a suggestion that you accepted. You don't need to work harder to change your world. Working harder is just trying to move the furniture around in a house you don't like. You need to change the code of the guard. You need to walk up to that neural toll bridge and hand over a new, authorized list. I want you to authorize a new set of primary convictions. I am a sovereign creator. My body is a self-regenerating masterpiece. Abundance is my natural frequency. Now, here is the secret to the render. You don't wait for the world to prove these are true before you believe them. That's employee logic. That's waiting for the sun to rise before you decide to wake up. Architect logic says you authorize the conviction first. You hold the belief so firmly, so uncompromisingly, that the 5% world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your resonance. The Ichikawa signal and the 4-minute mile prove that the physical world is a mirror that must reflect the light you shine into it. Stop asking for permission. Stop waiting for a sign from a system that is designed to keep you small. You are the one who signs the checks. You are the one who writes the laws of your own local grid. You are the ghost in the machine and the master of the sandbox. The code of conviction is the only law that matters. Everything else is just static. Next time, we're going to look at the biological mirror, how these very beliefs are actually forming the matter of your body and your daily experience. We're going to see how your thoughts become your blood. Clear your mirror, rewrite your code, command your light. I am the speaker. Welcome to the Validity.
Authorizing architect access. The signal is valid.